On our website, you can get PDF learning materials for free. Please visit englist.me.
Wrath.
Extreme anger.
Examples:
Wrath of God. A high person's wrath. He finally exploded with wrath due to the team's repeated failures.
Plankton.
Tiny forms of plant and animal life that live in water or air on which other animals feed.
Examples:
Plankton blooms. Plankton community. Plankton is generally the foundation of the ocean food chain.
Hospice.
A specialized care facility or service for terminally ill patients intended to provide comfort and support in the final stages of life. Any program, organization, or approach focused on end-of-life care and support.
Examples:
Hospice care. Home hospice. The hospice team includes nurses, social workers, chaplains, and volunteers who work together to provide comprehensive care.
Outskirt.
The part of a town or city away from the center, typically the suburbs, the fringe or border of something.
Examples:
The outskirt of the forest. On the western outskirts. The outskirt of the city was quieter and more peaceful than the busy downtown area.
Rive.
To tear or split apart forcefully, to break or divide by a sharp blow or force.
Examples:
Rive the sails of the ship. Rive the stone into precise shapes. The lumberjack used a strong axe to rive the logs into smaller pieces.
Wondrous.
Inspiring amazement or admiration, extremely beautiful and impressive.
Examples:
Wondrous sight. Wondrous adventure. The wondrous beauty of the sunset left us all in awe.
Clinician.
A practitioner, especially of medicine or psychology, who has direct contact with patients.
Examples:
Experienced clinician. From a clinician's perspective. Some clinicians believe that psychological characteristics alone may cause mental disorders.
Plateau.
An elevated, relatively level expanse of land, typically vast and extending over a large area. A state or period of little or no change following a period of growth, development, or progress.
Examples:
Plateau region. Plateau in performance. The hikers finally reached the plateau after a long climb up the mountain.
Impoverished.
Reduced to poverty or destitution, lacking in resources, means, or vitality, depleted or exhausted.
Examples:
Impoverished nation. Impoverished family. The impoverished villagers struggled to make ends meet with little access to food and clean water.
Rag.
A piece of cloth, especially an old one, torn or cut into strips and used for cleaning.
Examples:
A rag of cloud. Rag doll. He used an old rag to clean the grease off the car's engine.
Eyesight.
The ability to see, visual acuity or sharpness.
Examples:
Impaired eyesight. Acute eyesight. His excellent eyesight allowed him to spot the bird in the dense foliage.
Paralyze.
To cause a person or part of the body to become unable to move or feel.
Examples:
Paralyze a city. Paralyze a person. The venom from the snake bite paralyzed his arm.
Sentimental.
Connected with or resulting from someone's emotions, rather than reason or realism.
Examples:
In a sentimental mood. Sentimental damage. Stop being sentimental and always speak the truth.
Phenomenal.
Extremely good or impressive, outstanding.
Examples:
Phenomenal success. Phenomenal growth. The athlete's phenomenal performance broke all previous records.
Imprimatur.
Official approval or endorsement, especially by a person in authority, formal permission or sanction, often given to printed or published material.
Examples:
Official imprimatur. The imprimatur of the Catholic Church. The author eagerly awaited the publisher's imprimatur before releasing the book.
Facet.
One of the many aspects or sides of a subject or situation, especially when seen from different angles or perspectives, a particular feature or characteristic of something.
Examples:
Facet to a question. Important facet. The different facets of his personality make him a complex individual.
Referential.
Containing or relating to a reference to something or someone else, indicating, representing, or denoting something else.
Examples:
Referential database. Referential language. The referential footnote provided additional information about the source of the data.
Aspire.
To have an ambition or a desire to achieve something, typically something high or great.
Examples:
Aspire to greatness. Aspire after perfection. She aspired to become a successful businesswoman.
Caregiving.
The act of providing care and support for someone who is ill, disabled, or elderly.
Examples:
Caregiving process. Caregiving responsibilities. She devoted her life to caregiving, looking after her aging parents.
Distort.
To change something's shape, appearance, or sound so that it appears weird or unclear.
Examples:
Distort the facts. Distort the economy. Economists contend that taxes distort consumer behavior in general.
Catastrophe.
A sudden event that causes extreme ruin and misfortune.
Examples:
Catastrophe risk management. Avoid climate catastrophe. The lack of funds has resulted in a catastrophe for our university system.
Paralysis.
A condition in which you are unable to move or lose control of part or most of the body because of illness or injury.
Examples:
Moral paralysis. Paralysis in the leg. Massive demonstrations lead to total paralysis of transportation.
Imago.
The final, adult stage of an insect's development that typically follows the larval or pupal stage. Of psychology, an idealized mental image of someone, often a parental figure, that influences a person's behavior.
Examples:
The imago of the butterfly. Imago development. The imago stage is an insect's life cycle's final and fully mature form.
Archetype.
A very typical example of a certain person or thing, a recurrent symbol or motif in literature, art, or mythology that represents a universal pattern of human nature.
Examples:
Archetype symbol. Feminine archetype. The hero's journey is a common archetype in many myths and stories.
Pervade.
To spread throughout something, to permeate.
Examples:
Pervade society. Pervade an atmosphere. The smell of baking bread pervaded the kitchen.
Psyche.
The human soul, mind, or spirit.
Examples:
Deep psyche. Psyche healing. The therapist helped her understand the workings of her psyche and how to cope with her anxiety.
Neuroscience.
The scientific study of the function, structure, and disorder of the brain and the nervous system.
Examples:
The branch of neuroscience. A theoretical concept in neuroscience. Our university is famous for its professors, who are well-versed in behavioral neuroscience.
Resilient.
Able to withstand or recover quickly from difficult conditions.
Examples:
A hard and resilient steel. Resilient population. She is a resilient person and has always bounced back from setbacks.
Enliven.
To make something more interesting, active, or appealing, to give life or energy to something, often by adding new or creative elements.
Examples:
Enliven a party. Enliven a conversation. The party music helped enliven the atmosphere and get people dancing.
Noxious.
Harmful or poisonous to living beings, having an unpleasant or offensive smell or taste, causing intense or unpleasant emotions or feelings.
Examples:
Noxious gas. Noxious substances. The noxious fumes from the factory were causing health problems for nearby residents.
Psychopath.
A person with an extreme personality disorder characterized by a lack of empathy, remorse, and ethical values, often associated with manipulative and deceitful behavior, impulsivity, and risk-taking tendencies.
Examples:
Psychopath tendencies. Violent psychopath. The detective identified the psychopath who had been terrorizing the city for months.
Toxin.
A poisonous substance produced by a living organism, such as a plant, animal, or microorganism, a chemical compound that can cause harm or illness to a living organism.
Examples:
Toxin exposure. Toxin production. Mold exposure can release dangerous toxins into the air.
Mobilize.
To make something ready for action or use, to organize people or resources for a particular purpose.
Examples:
Mobilize cooperation. Mobilize a stiff joint. The military mobilized troops to the border.
Uphold.
To support or defend something, such as a law, idea, decision, etc.
Examples:
Uphold the law. Uphold tradition. The judge may uphold the decision of the lower court.
Equanimity.
A state of calmness, stability, and composure, particularly in the face of stress, adversity, or challenging situations.
Examples:
Achieve perfect equanimity. Lose equanimity. The CEO's equanimity during the crisis helped reassure the investors and employees.
Exemplify.
To serve as a typical example of something.
Examples:
Exemplify the importance. Exemplify the solution. The example of a successful startup serves to exemplify the potential of the industry.
Intimacy.
Close familiarity or friendship, a close, familiar, and usually affectionate or loving personal relationship with another person.
Examples:
On terms of intimacy. Build intimacy. They were looking for intimacy in their relationship and wanted to be close to each other.
Mediate.
To try to bring about an agreement or understanding between people who are in conflict.
Examples:
Mediate allergic reaction. Mediate a negotiation. The teacher had to mediate a disagreement between two students over a stolen pencil.
Infuse.
To fill something with a particular quality, feeling, or influence, to imbue.
Examples:
Infuse with spirit. Infuse life with meaning. She infused fresh herbs into the soup for added flavor.
Maggot.
The larval stage of a fly or other insect, typically characterized by its soft, legless body and often found in decaying organic matter or on living animals.
Examples:
Maggot therapy. Wriggling maggots. The maggot infestation in the trash can was a clear sign that we needed to take out the garbage more frequently.
Plumber.
A person who installs and repairs the pipes and fixtures of a water supply, heating system, or drainage system.
Examples:
Plumber's wrench. Licensed plumber. I had to call a plumber to fix the leaky faucet in my bathroom.
Lotus.
A type of aquatic plant with large, round, floating leaves and distinctive flowers, often associated with spiritual symbolism and cultural significance in Asia.
Examples:
Lotus fragrance. Lotus petals. The serene pond was adorned with beautiful lotus flowers.